Okay, so we're going to get rid of these objects, so we're going to select that one and press delete, and that object and press delete. Now we're going to talk about the contour tool, so I'm going to highlight this object. Let's just put that to one side for a moment. Don't know what we're going to do with that, but let's leave it there, it looks pretty. Okay, let's grab the circle, center of our area, pressing down the Control and the Shift key and pull a circle out. Now back to the left hand side tool, and let's find contour. Let's select this circle by clicking down and then drag to the inside of the circle. That's given me 15 steps at 0.87. So let's just get rid of that and put one step at 3 millimeters. There we go. But I actually want a couple more circles in the middle. So I could either duplicate that and drop it on the inside, or I could just increase the steps and delete what I don't want. So let's just whack in a few steps. That'll do nicely. Now I want to make these objects in their own right and not a contour from the outside, because it's at the moment it's changing. If I was to change one of the outside objects, like this one that is copying, it would change everything else with inside it. You'd see that if this was an awkward shape, you would see that if I changed a part of the shape on the outside there, it would change all the inside components as well. So let's just select the this object, and let's go across to arrange and break contour group apart, Control K. So we've broken it apart, and now we need to ungroup these objects because it's holding them together as a group. So we're going to ungroup all objects. Now I want to select the outside two tool, so I'm going to zoom in using the roller wheel on my mouse and press down the Shift key. So I've got the two objects selected on the outside, and I'm going to highlight them with a colour, and you can see it fills all the inside of both of this outer circle and that inner circle, and that's why the whole thing is looking blue. Now if I press Control L, that's going to combine those two objects, and I can see that's combined by dragging that across, and you can see that the inside is clear. So I'm also then going to grab another couple, maybe those two, Control L those, and give that a colour as well. Now let's get rid of all the other components on the inside, so put a line, a box around them like so, press delete, and these ones I'm going to have to select manually, so click once, hold the Shift key down, click, click and press delete. Cool, now let's grab those two, put a box around them and press EC just to make sure they're aligned centrally, horizontally and vertically, and I'm going to go Control L and combine the two. So these are now a combined object. So if I change one of them, like so, by pressing this left mouse button, you can see that it will change the colour of the other one as well. So in this case I want to add some text in to follow the contour all the way around. So I'm going to go back to the left hand side, select the text tool and come down and just click somewhere on the screen. Don't click and drag and make a box, because it will retain the text like so, and it's useless. Only ideal for when you're using setting out some artwork for a flyer or something like that, or publication. So let's go back, text tool, click down, let's type in one, let's do it in capitals, one shirt away course. Okay, now if you want to change the font, go back to your pick tool and select a font from the menu, the drop down menu. So we're going to click on that, anyone will do. Let's select Helvetica, that will do lovely, and let's increase the font size so that it fits in between this circle nicely. Now I'm going to select that and select the circle, and I'm going to tell it the text to follow the path. So let's go text, fit text to path, like so, and I want to move that in the center point here. So I'm going to click on the little red dot there and pull that to the inside, somewhere around there, should be lovely. And you can centralize that if you want. Now say I want to stretch that text out and put more space in between each of the characters. I'm going to come back to the shape tool, click on it, click on the font and increase by dragging this little arrow, and that is going to continue to follow the path of the circle, but at the same time is going to increase the spacing between the characters. So let's just pull that out to see how crazy that looks. Cool. Now what I'd do in a situation like this, if I was going to do something like that, I'd put a dot or a circle in there just to signify the difference between the start and the end of the font of the text. So we'll just drop a little circle in there. Okay, that's cool. So we could grab this object if we like. We can resize that, and we can drop that in to the center there. Now I'm going to group that. I don't want to combine it because of the color difference that we've got with the two alternate color sequences there. If I combine it, it's only going to be one color. So highlighting all of it, EC to realign, and that's looking pretty good. So it gives you a bit of an idea there. What we've done now, we've done some trims where we cut and punched out objects, changing the circle into a nice little kaleidoscope sequence. We've combined objects or circles on the side here to make borders or contours. We've used text there to follow a text path, and put a little dot in there as well to make that stop. So it's just give you a little bit of an idea, and I'm trying to move quickly through the course because what I want you to get is an understanding of what we can do with some of these core skills and how we can quickly and easily build up a design and get a workflow going. So if I selected that now, that will change the color completely. Click on the text, change the color of the text. Click on the dot, change the color of the font, the dot. I can highlight all of the whole object. I can come across to the color palette on the right hand side, and I can click left to change the color of it to black, which is the fill color. I can come down to a bright color, and I can right click with the mouse button to add a line or a stroke in, and I can increase that stroke by selecting this pen tool width from the menu bar at the top. Okay, so let's move on to the next. I'm going to save that, and let's move on to the next course.